with the cone of uncertainty. Every time it updates, I'm like, where's it at?
It was just a couple of weeks ago that people here were dealing with all of the rain and the flooding from Tropical Storm Alberto, and they know this is just the beginning of the hurricane season. Jason Allen, CBS News, Port Lavaca, Texas.
Weather specialist Nick Dunn joins us with your Storm Center 7 forecast. I know, Nick, we were talking a little bit. We may see some of the effects from the hurricane, not as severe. But...
Yeah, certainly not as severe. Now, we could use some more rainfall. Let's just hope that it's not overly heavy because we do still have some drought conditions. So we can certainly use some rain. Now, let's take a look at the latest observation with Tropical Storm Beryl. There were some indications this evening. You can look on satellite. This is infrared satellite. Obviously, at night, it's kind of hard for us to show you the visible satellite imagery. But you notice these really dark reds that are starting to pop up here around the center, especially over the last couple of hours. This is an indication that the storm is really trying to gain intensity right before landfall. It's just a few hours away now from landfall, probably happening sometime around daybreak. Right now, winds are at 70 miles per hour, and that is just 4 miles per hour shy of officially being a Category 1 hurricane. Pressure hasn't moved a whole lot since we last talked at 6 o'clock this evening, down to 986 millibars. Let's look at the overall track of Beryl. Again, making landfall probably as a minimal Category 1 hurricane. However, there's still some indications that this thing is going to rapidly intensify as it approaches the Houston area. So we'll see what happens over the next few hours, but it has certainly not intensified a whole lot this evening. And then once it moves through Texas, it is going to be moving northeastward towards the Ohio Valley. And by Wednesday evening, the remnant low of that, this L here, is just an indication of a post-tropical depression. And that means that obviously the system is no longer over ocean waters and it doesn't have any tropical characteristics. But these can be known for some really efficient rainmakers. So we're going to keep a very close eye on this part of the forecast. Now, right now outside this evening, we take you out to Dayton. We are dry, 76 degrees and partly cloudy skies. A little muggy. You notice that dew point there at 64, but it's not oppressively muggy by any means. Live Doppler 7 is dry. Oxford, the hot spot right now at 79. A couple of spots in the 60s. Urbana and Richmond, you're at 66, each of you, that is, and 68 right now in Greenville. We've got a dry night in store. We've got a dry start to the work week, so maybe you took an extra day off. You may want to think about hopping in the pool tomorrow. Hot and humid tomorrow, highs in the lower 90s, a southwest wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. But don't forget the sunscreen, and that goes whether you're hopping in the pool or maybe just working outside in general. Now, looking at our overall weather impacts, we have the 90s tomorrow, and then we're tracking the remains of what is potentially could become Hurricane Beryl, bringing us the potential for some tropical rains Tuesday and Wednesday. There's still some lingering questions. Where's the heaviest rain going to fall? And do we potentially find ourselves in an isolated tornado threat? There's still some questions here, and we're going to try to answer some of those right now in future casts. So we take you through Monday. We are still dry for the time being. Tuesday morning starts dry. But watch what happens by later in the day. You notice a few of these individual thunderstorms popping up Tuesday evening. A couple of those could turn severe with an isolated damaging wind gust or a weak tornado. So don't be surprised if that's what happens. And then into Wednesday, it looks like it's just a soaking rain, which we could really use some rain across the Miami Valley. This continues right through Wednesday afternoon, and hopefully by late Wednesday going into early Thursday, that is starting to move away for us. Now, rainfall totals. This is obviously something you want to kind of take with a grain of salt for right now, because some of the models have actually been bringing the heaviest rain a little further to the southeast over the last couple of runs. But the way it looks right now, maybe in 1 to 2 inches for most of us. We could certainly use the rainfall across the Miami Valley. We just don't want it to come down really heavy or particularly all at once, because then we could be dealing with a flooding threat. For tomorrow, we do have a high of 91 degrees with a mix of clouds and sun here in Dayton, upper 80s to lower 90s everywhere else around the Miami Valley. As we take a look at my Storm Center 7-day forecast, if you can hang in there past Beryl's leftovers on Wednesday, we start to turn drier for Thursday. And right now, Taylor, next weekend, a repeat of what we just had. Plenty of sunshine, highs in the upper 80s.
Thanks, Nick. Make sure you check back here tomorrow morning during News Center 7's Daybreak. We will bring you live pictures and updates about the storm hitting Texas. If you've ever taken out a loan to pay for a car or school, chances are you've had trouble reaching someone for help, or maybe